Hello and welcome to a quick video on trigonometric area of a triangle. This was set for year 10 at Farnborough last week, so it's just a few requests just to have a quick video just to go over how to do this properly. So we've looked at right angle trigonometry. If we label up a right angle triangle, there's the right angles, there's the hypotenuse, there's the angle that we're given, so that's the opposite, which means that's the adjacent. So hypotenuse, opposite and adjacent, which is fine in a right angle triangle. However, if we've not got a right angle triangle, which we're not going to have when we're using trigonometric area of a triangle, or we're going to be using sine rule or cosine rule, we have to have a slightly different way of labelling up. So first of all, we label up in pairs. So if that is angle A, opposite it would be side A. Angle B, side B, angle C, side C. Notice we use capitals for the angles and lowercase for the sides, so they always come in pairs, and that's really important to make sure you label up your triangle whenever you're doing any of these type of questions. So we normally have area of a triangle to be half times the base times the perpendicular height. Perpendicular just means at a right angle. So if this triangle here, we'd have half times by 10 the base, times by 5 the height, half times 10 times 5, half 50, which is 25 centimeters squared. Reason that we use half is because all triangles are just half of a rectangle that is surrounding it. So there we go, that would be our rectangle. Sometimes though we don't have all of the given parts. So in this particular triangle here, I've got the base, I don't have the perpendicular height though, so it's half times 11 times whatever that height is. We're given some other information though, so we can actually use that information to work out the height. So if I isolate off this triangle here, which I know is going to be right angled, I've got 10 centimeters there, I've got 50 there. Using normal trig, label up, there's the hypotenuse, there's the opposite. Opposite and hypotenuse is going to be sine, so to work out the opposite, which is this height here that I'm looking for to work out the area, it's going to be sine times hypotenuse, sine of 50 times by 10, put that into my formula, it would be half times 11 times 10 times sine 50, and that would give me the area of that entire triangle. What that then does is generate this formula. So this formula here is your trigonometric area of a triangle. It's half AB sine C. Now it's really, really important that you use the right sides and the right angle. The angle that you've got to use is the one that's enclosed between the two sides. So if we look at what we've done here in our original example, we've done 11 times by 10 times by the sine of 50, and obviously half because of this triangle. So the two sides are either side. So if I was given this side as well here, I'd still just use these two. So we label that up as A, B and then C, because if, as we said on the previous one, that would be C there, that would be angle A, and that would be angle B. So it's going to be half AB sine C. You know, if you were given different ones in different positions, you could use it as long as you're using the two sides at either side of the angle that you're given. So as a practical example here, we have a triangle. Again, we're given the base, we're not given the perpendicular height, so we're given 12, we're given 8, and the enclosed angle is 32. So the formula is going to be half times A times B times sine of C. So just to make sure, I'm just label up. So that's A, that's A, that's B, and that's B, and that would be C, that would be C. So substitute in some numbers now. I'm going to do half times by 12 times by 8 times by sine 32, making sure I close my brackets there. So put that onto the calculator. So half or 0.5, doesn't matter which way you do it, times by 12 times by 8 times by the sine. It'll automatically open the bracket up. 32, close the brackets, press equals, so we get an area of 25.44 centimetre squared. Obviously, because you're multiplying together A and B, it doesn't actually matter which one you call A, which one you call B, because 12 times 8 is the same as 8 times 12, so both of them will get exactly the same answer. Okay, so once you've got the formula, once you've labelled your sides, it's just a matter of substituting in. This could appear on a non-calculator paper where it gave you the sine of 30 or 45, 60, some of the values that you are expected to know without a calculator, but on a calculator paper it's just a matter of substituting in the numbers. Right, here's our next one. Pause if you want to have a go at it, and then in a couple of seconds I'm just going to start talking through. Okay, so this time I've put an extra side in, so this is going to be angle C, which means this is side C, this is side A, angle A, B, angle B. So those two are important to me. This case I'm not going to be using that because that's opposite my angle. So I'm going to do half times A times B times sine of C. So that's half times by 10 multiplied by 13 multiplied by the sine of the enclosed angle, which in this case is 22. So again we get our calculator. So 0.5 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 13 multiplied by the sine of 22, close the brackets up, and this time it gives me an area of 24.35 centimetre squared. Right, the last one that I have on here, just a slightly different type of question. This time I'm not given quite as much information. I am, however, given the fact that it's an isosceles triangle. I know that because we've got the lines on there. So I can actually work out a little bit more on here. So if that's 8, that's got to be 8 centimetres because they're going to be the same length. I can also now work out the angles as well. And that's the tricky bit about this one, because you're only given 2 pieces of information, but actually you're given a hell of a lot more. So base angles or isosceles are the same, so that's 40, say not drawn to scale here obviously because that's going to be 100 degrees. So now I've got my angle and my 2 enclosed sides. So half AB sine C, so that's half times 8 times 8 times by the sine of 100, so we get our calculator. So 0.5 times 8 times 8 times the sine of 100, that gives me 31.51 centimetre squared. Right, hopefully that's helped you with trigonometric area of a triangle. Practice the sheets that were put on showing my homework and have a go at the Hegarty.